I never believed in haunted houses. That's why I laughed when my boyfriend Ethan suggested we explore the abandoned mansion at the end of Black Creek Road. It's just an old building, I told him as we pulled into the weed-covered driveway. The house stood against the night sky like a giant black silhouette. Most of its windows were broken. The front porch sagged. Dead vines crawled across the walls. Still, something about it made my stomach tighten. Ethan grabbed a flashlight and smiled. Scared? Not even a little. I was lying. The front door was already open. Inside, the air smelled damp and rotten. Dust covered everything. Our flashlight beams swept across torn wallpaper and decaying furniture. First, it was exactly what I expected. Then we heard footsteps upstairs. Slow. Heavy. Deliberate. We froze. The footsteps stopped. A second later, a door slammed somewhere above us. The sound echoed through the entire house. Neither of us spoke for several seconds. Finally, Ethan forced a laugh. Probably raccoons. I nodded even though I didn't believe him. We climbed the staircase. The second-floor hallway was lined with old portraits. Every face had its eyes scratched out. I hated it immediately. As I passed one painting, I thought I saw the woman in it turn her head toward me. I stopped. The painting was still. My pulse hammered. Then Ethan grabbed my arm. Robin! His voice sounded wrong. Terrified. I followed his gaze. The painting was facing a different direction than before. Before either of us could react, every portrait crashed to the floor at once. The noise nearly made me scream. Then the whispering started. It came from every direction. Hundreds of voices speaking words I couldn't understand. The temperature dropped so fast that I could see my breath. At the end of the hallway stood a figure. It was far too tall. Its arms hung unnaturally low. It stood completely motionless, watching us. Then it smiled. Its mouth stretched wider than any human mouth should. Run, I whispered. We ran. The whispering followed us. Doors slammed shut by themselves. Hallways seemed to change when we weren't looking. Every path led somewhere impossible. At one point, we ran downstairs and somehow ended up back on the second floor. Panic set in. The house was trapping us. Then we found Ethan's car keys lying in the middle of the floor. He'd left them in the car. I knew he had. So did he. Neither of us touched them. The whispers slowly became familiar voices. I heard my mother's voice calling my name. I almost answered. Then I realized she lived hundreds of miles away. The voice laughed. A horrible, inhuman laugh. I grabbed Ethan's hand. We need to leave now. We raced downstairs toward the front entrance. The front door was gone. Blank wall stood where it should have been. My heart nearly stopped. That's when I noticed movement in the darkness. Figures stepped out of the shadows. Dozens of them. Their eyes glowed faintly red. Their bodies looked twisted and skeletal. Their movements were jerky, unnatural. The moment I saw them, I knew they weren't ghosts. They were something worse. The demons began advancing. Slowly. Patiently. As if they knew escape was impossible. Ethan stepped in front of me. Robin, listen. No. If something happens, don't say that. The demons suddenly rushed forward. Everything exploded into chaos. Ethan shoved me backward. Run! I ran. I hated myself for it, but I ran. The creatures chased us through the house. Their claws scraped walls and ceilings. Their shrieks echoed through every room. Then I heard Ethan scream. The sound froze my blood. I almost turned around. Almost. Instead, I kept moving. I sprinted through room after room until I spotted moonlight shining through a window. Without thinking, I threw myself through it. Glass shattered. I crashed into the grass outside. Pain shot through my shoulder, but I forced myself up. The house loomed behind me. Every window glowed red. Dark figures crowded the openings, watching. Then they poured out of the front entrance. I ran. The demons followed. Their screams filled the woods around me. I could hear them getting closer. My lungs burned. My legs felt ready to collapse. Then I saw headlights. An 18-wheeler appeared around a bend in the road. It stumbled into the highway, waving my arms. The truck slammed on its brakes. The passenger door swung open. An old man with a gray beard leaned out. Get in. I climbed inside. The truck roared forward. I never looked back. And I never saw Ethan again.